The ground shook with excitement as the truck pulled into the driveway, carrying something that instantly transformed the day into a celebration. Towering silhouettes rose from the flatbed, massive trees wrapped and bundled, each one holding the promise of shade, color, and timeless beauty for years to come. There's something about receiving trees, not small plants or shrubs, but real, towering giants, that makes it feel like Christmas morning. The anticipation builds, because until each one is untied and spread out, you never truly know what you're about to uncover. This delivery wasn't just any shipment. These trees came from the respected Schwe Brothers Farms, a name rooted in quality and known for growing exceptional specimens across several states. When the call came months ago to handpick from their expansive availability, it felt like stepping into a treasure vault of possibilities. Each choice carried weight. What tree would thrive here? What shape would define the skyline in 10 years? What colors would spark joy each season? Now, those decisions were no longer lines on a list, they were right here, tied up and waiting to be revealed. The thrill is in the unwrapping. With every knot loosened, branches stretch free, leaves flutter back into place, and the character of the tree begins to shine. Some stand tall and regal, others arch gracefully, whispering promises of shade and serenity. The first one revealed, a stately village green Zelkovas, commanded attention instantly. Its branching structure already hinted at the architectural elegance it would bring to the landscape. Nearby, a majestic weeping willow awaited its new home, full of graceful drama that no camera could ever truly capture. But the real story behind these trees isn't just about how they look today. It's about how they've been grown. Instead of the heavy, traditional balled and burlap method, many of these arrived in innovative PlantRight containers, fabric-like, sturdy, and surprisingly easy to handle. Unlike standard plastic pots where roots spiral endlessly, these containers allow roots to breathe and prune themselves naturally. That means stronger, healthier systems that are ready to dig deep into the soil once planted. For anyone who has wrestled with wire cages, compacted root balls, or soil crumbling apart at the worst possible moment, this new method feels like a revolution. The difference was immediate when planting. A simple slice down the sides, a gentle peel, and the root ball stayed intact, solid, fibrous, and ready to take off. No collapsing soil, no broken roots, no frustration. Just a seamless transfer from container to earth. Compared to the stressful process of cutting away heavy burlap and metal cages, this method felt effortless. It sparked a thought: if planting something as monumental as a tree could be this smooth, why aren't all nurseries using this technique? Of course, each tree comes with its own story, its own destiny on the property. The sugar time crabapples, for instance, weren't just ornamental picks. Their springtime explosion of blossoms will paint the garden in white, followed by bright red fruits that feed birds through winter. They're persistent, clinging to branches until nature itself takes them away, leaving no mess on the ground. It's beauty with purpose, ornament and sustenance, working together in harmony. Then came the Cedar of Lebanon, a tree of legends. Ancient civilizations revered it, and even today its presence feels timeless. Slow-growing but enduring, its needles create a softness that contrasts beautifully against harsher evergreens. Standing beside it, the ponderosa pine offered its own story of nostalgia. With its long, rugged needles and steady growth, it carried memories of forests in Idaho, of childhood trips surrounded by giants that seemed endless. Now, one of those memories has been planted here, destined to grow taller with each passing season. The emotional pull of a weeping willow cannot be overstated. Their sweeping branches create living curtains of shade, their golden tones glowing in the evening sun. Yes, they're fast-growing and sometimes messy, but their majesty outweighs any inconvenience. Watching them dance in the breeze is like watching poetry come alive, and the chance to add another one to this landscape was simply too good to pass up. Other selections added diversity and reliability. The triumph elm, resilient against the diseases that plagued its ancestors, stood tall with glossy leaves shimmering in the light. The Spartan junipers promised form and structure, evergreens that could be shaped into topiaries or left free to grow tall and elegant. The ivory silk lilac, with its multi-trunk form, offered bursts of white blooms each spring and warm bronze tones in autumn. Every tree had a role to play, and together they created a vision of a property transformed. For anyone watching, this isn't just about trees, it's about inspiration. It's about seeing how choices made today shape the landscapes of tomorrow. It's about discovering new methods that make planting easier, healthier, and more rewarding. And most of all, it's about realizing that when you put a tree into the ground, you're planting more than roots. You're planting dreams, memories, and legacies. So, as the camera pans out across the rows of giants waiting for their forever homes, the story feels unfinished, and that's exactly the point. The journey is still unfolding. Each tree planted is another step towards something extraordinary. And you'll want to see how it all comes together. Because when the last tree is in the ground, this property won't just have grown, it will have transformed into a living masterpiece.